It's gonna be like. So what if we lose? It's gonna be alright. So what if we get swept? It's gonna be alright. So what if we miss out on the money? It's gonna be alright. That he just gives you that impression.
Just getting sued. Everyone's so sensitive. YouTube was demonetizing like half my videos because they were becoming more, progressive, and all of their advertisers would be like, we can't have this.
You just will never be a good fighter. So I wish that I could have knocked him out at the start. But as we saw tonight, Jake has spirit.
Breaking news nobody expected. Stephen A. Smith publicly drags Jake Paul, revealing he went bankrupt after lawsuits accusing him of fixing boxing bouts. He allegedly claims gambling everything made no sense, because when illegal moves surface, punishment follows. According to Stephen, once shady behavior is exposed, collapse becomes unavoidable. And this downfall was destined to arrive sooner instead of later.
I'm talking about people who let it cost them their money. Yeah. That's all I'm talking about. If it don't cost you your money, puff, puff, and pass away. Yeah.
Jake Paul reportedly admits his cash vanished, with even his YouTube uploads pulled over content problems. He allegedly adds every lawsuit burned millions, and the losses stacked up fast. According to Jake, despite once earning massive sums, non-stop legal wars entered his accounts, leaving him broke. He reportedly muses on how fast fortune evaporates when someone keeps colliding with endless legal disasters that never seem to stop anytime soon.
Say the names, but there's like a firm who has stolen a bunch of money from celebrities in Los Angeles and athletes.
You don't want to say the name because you're probably going to get sued.
No, yeah. No,
That's another $1 million.
I'm probably going to sue them one day.
Jake Paul reportedly stands unshaken, denying he ever fixed fights, and vows to sue anyone daring to accuse him of wrongdoing he never committed. He allegedly says scripted bouts are illegal, and falsely blaming him is no small issue. According to Jake, the accusations are groundless and could even qualify as a federal crime. He stresses he will pursue legal action to defend his reputation and career from relentless public attacks online.
This is Mike Tyson was 100% scripted. Mike Tyson repeatedly bit his boxing glove throughout the fight. When fights are scripted, fighters do weird gestures to signal that they're hurt. It's very possible Mike Tyson was biting on his glove to tell Jake Paul to calm down. Now, if that's not enough proof that this fight was scripted, in the middle of the fight, Mike Tyson is literally talking to Jake Paul.
Jake Paul snaps back, calling people dumb while branding his own fights rigged, claiming they just don't grasp boxing. He reportedly argues that countless critics misunderstand the sport and completely miss the strategy guiding every move inside the ring. According to Jake, these complaints are unfair, and anyone labeling his bouts rigged simply lacks the knowledge needed to respect the complexity and skill required in professional boxing today.
Thinking that you was rigging those fights, though, I ain't gonna lie.
You honestly believe that?
I wanted to believe it when you fought Woodley.
Rampage.
Because I'm an MMA guy.
Anyone who believes that narrative, it's like, come on. You think Anderson Silva's gonna lose? You think Woodley's gonna take a fall? You know these guys.
Yeah, no, I didn't think Anderson would take a fall.
People think the Mike Tyson fight is rigged. I try to understand.
Tunny Jeff, defending Jake Paul, insists critics claiming Mike Tyson held back are simply wrong. He reportedly argues Mike wasn't restraining himself at all, because if he had thrown a full punch then, Jake would have instantly fired back. According to Jeff, these critics clearly don't understand boxing and completely miss the skill, timing, and strategy inside the fight, leaving their accusations sounding unfair, clueless, and painfully uninformed.
Mike Tyson has got to do this fight. This is what I wrote on Instagram, and someone commented saying he doesn't have to do it, he's choosing to do it. And then I thought, you're right, he is choosing to do it, but why is he choosing to do it? Well, he's doing it for one reason and one reason only, and that is the money. He's getting paid so much money to do this. So that tells me he's getting bought. So again, it is sad that someone like Mike Tyson can get bought, because this guy is an absolute legend. He shouldn't be able to get bought like this. He's 57 years old. He needs to be enjoying retirement. Now, I don't think that I've got the wealth that Mike Tyson's got, but if someone offered me $20 million to fight Jake Paul, I would say no, because I care too much about my brain health, about my children, about my family, where it seems like he is being bored. And I'm not trying to disrespect the man. I absolutely love the man. It's just so blue.
Meanwhile, commentators on the Joe Rogan podcast claim Jake Paul's bout versus Mike Tyson was scripted. They reportedly point out that although Mike appeared razor-sharp and dangerous in training, his showing in the real fight hinted at restraint. According to these analysts, his punches stayed measured and his aggression felt deliberately muted, clashing with his normal style. That, they argue, signals the match was tightly managed instead of fully competitive. Observers add the rhythm, timing, and reactions inside the ring were tweaked, making the fight seem scripted to certain viewers watching closely online everywhere worldwide today.
Test himself against actual, not just world champion, but one of the greatest of all time.
Are the fights even real? Like the Tyson fight? Like I saw video breakdowns of Tyson not throwing punches early on in that fight. I don't know if you watched any of those videos where like there's a left hook is 100% available. Tyson on in training 99% of the time releases that punch and he held out. Like, do you think that was that a real fight?
It looked like sparring to me. That's what it looked like.
But like with an arrangement beforehand? Like,
I wouldn't want to speculate because I haven't talked to anybody about it. But my educated assessment, yes.
Agreed.
It looked like
Jake Paul's latest showdown with Anthony Joshua was reportedly surrounded by whispers that he tried tilting the fight his way, relying on strategy and careful movement to steal an advantage. However, those plans clearly failed to land as expected, leaving Jake mostly concerned with survival instead of dominating the action. Observers pointed out that while he flashed defensive skill at times, his overall game looked cautious, highlighting how tough it is to face an elite opponent like Joshua. Analysts say that despite planning and tactics, the bout revealed flaws in fully executing his strategy, proving that even well-calculated plans can collapse inside boxing's unpredictable battlefield.
In terms of what he's doing in the boxing ring.
Listen, so long as people will tune in and so long as Jake Paul is paid by Netflix or any broadcaster to air his fights, we're going to see this continue. And Jake Paul knows his business model. Right now, this deviated, this AJ fight, which came together kind of last minute after the Tank Davis fight fell apart. But we know Jake Paul's MO here. It's find the most popular guy with the most physical disadvantages for me to fight. And Jake Paul has the benefit that he's turned himself into a villain, or in the pro wrestling circles, a heel. People tune in to watch. We did not tune into this fight to see competitive boxing. Most of us tuned in because we thought, here's Anthony Joshua. Here's a two-time unified heavyweight champion, a guy who physically just overwhelms Jake Paul. And we're finally going to get what Tyron Woodley and Anderson Silva, Nate Diaz were not physically fit, whether it be through their size, experience, or age to do, and that is knock out Jake Paul. And so because I don't really feel like we got that satisfying comeuppance that a lot of people have been waiting for, it kind of gives Jake Paul a little bit of mystique, I'd almost say, to still try and string this along. Now, I don't know in terms, he says he wants to be cruiserweight champion. I'm not quite sure what the competitive road there is, because let's make no mistake, the reason this fight lasted as long as it did is because Jake Paul focused exclusively on being elusive. He did his best, and kudos to him, right? He did a great job of not getting cornered. He was always on the gas until the gas sort of fell out from underneath him. And so I don't quite know, short of leveraging his popularity, how he's going to get to that title shot if he's not actually going to fight, like really fight.
Chaos rippled through viewers when the 7th round hit in Jake Paul's clash with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., after fans swore online listings had already crowned Jake the winner before the last bell rang. Those bizarre early calls ignited fierce arguments across social media, pushing many to doubt the fight's legitimacy. This moment, though, was hardly a one-off in Paul's story. Critics have repeatedly flagged a familiar formula in his bouts: handpicked opponents, hype-heavy promotion, and wins that feel suspiciously prepackaged for years, appearing almost guaranteed every single time it happens again.
You are watching this video. Jake Paul and Julio Cesar Chavez are currently right now in the 7th round of their fight. But when you go to Google and Google the fight, it gives an accurate breakdown of all their past fights. And then it comes to the current fight, and it says that Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. loses a unanimous decision to Jake Paul in 2025. The fight has not even played out yet. Yet they're saying that this is the end results as they are fighting right now, currently as it stands. This leans testament to the fact that people state that Jake Paul has his fights fixed. What's your thoughts on this? This is nasty work. Unbelievable. This is Google. Google it.
Jake Paul's bout with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. wasn't the first to spark this level of suspicion. His fighting style consistently muddies the line between real competition and pure entertainment spectacle. Plenty of fans say they see a clear pattern. Rivals past their prime, fights built for maximum views, and outcomes that conveniently lean in Paul's favor. These carefully arranged ingredients have fueled claims that his career focuses more on showmanship than actually testing his skills against truly equal opponents.
But in quite serious news in the combat sports world, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, it's come out now. It was rigged. I can't believe it. You know, you have to question the validity of boxing these days when you can't trust two professionals to get in the ring and do their best against each other. And instead you find out Mike Tyson pulling his punches, not trying to hurt Jake Paul. Absolute disgrace. I thought better of them. You know, I really did. I thought that Mike Tyson, especially, Iron Mike, he was just going to go in there and knock Jake clean out. But here he is.
Shiel Sonnen, weighing in on the drama, pointed out how strange it is for someone with just 11 pro fights to meet rivals loaded with experience and Olympic backgrounds. According to Sonnen, the idea of throwing an underdeveloped fighter into such massive matchups simply makes no sense. From his view, these fights often look carefully engineered to manufacture flashy storylines instead of delivering authentic, hard-earned competition.
For Jake, or if I think that Joshua's more experienced or better, I believe in I believe boxing's real. If boxing is an actual sport, if it is an actual sweet science, then of course a guy that's done it 11 times cannot compete with the Olympic champion. Of course. This is before you get size in there, before you get professional world titles in there. A guy that's done this 11 times cannot go into the Olympic Games and medal. If boxing, in fact, should be believed. I was with Portnoy. I liked it. I liked how he said that. So, you know, that's how I feel too. Because I'm also cheering for Jake Paul. But I get it. I know we're not going to win tonight. But that's a compliment to boxing. And it is very hard for people to digest that Anthony Joshua can't cut him off. He can't find him. He can't do anything with that reach. He can't go out there and rush him. He can't throw this kid in a corner and beat him up. That is disappointing to me. That is baffling to me. As an MMA guy, I will just share with you, that would not be a problem at all. At all. If a guy's running away from me, it would be absolutely no problem. And you can put the boundaries at the city line. You can put it at the state line. I will track him down. I will put him somewhere and I will beat the dog out of him. So in a ring, I get where that is really disappointing. I get it, but it doesn't change the fact that that's what happened. And then Joshua, by the way, has the right to turn to some other thing. Well, I'm saying he had to cut him off, grab him, throw him in the corner, go beat him up. Well, I'm saying that Joshua has the right to go, I could feel some stuff. I knew it was going to come my way, right? For Joshua to say, well, I had the experience, and yeah, he was moving, and yeah, I could have cut him off a little different. But I didn't mind the way this was going. I didn't mind that he was running. I knew he would slow down. I knew he would come to me eventually. Like, for that to be Joshua's mindset.
Joe Rogan adds yet another layer into the debate, stressing that Jake Paul has long tried to prove himself as a real fighter. Rogan admits Paul's urge to face opponents inside the ring and show he can handle true competition. While that intention seems sincere, the repeating pattern of opponent choices and stage conditions sparks questions over how much of the spectacle feels authentic and how much is carefully controlled to serve Paul's career. The storyline carries over to Paul's fight against Anthony Joshua. Analysts such as Ariel Helwani have noted that Joshua had zero incentive to take needless risks strictly for money. Already extremely wealthy, Joshua's priority stayed on protecting his legacy instead of chasing a payday. This context explains why Joshua fought cautiously, sidestepping unnecessary exposure, and made it obvious that the fight stakes were drastically different for the two fighters involved there.
Like, the head is open. Upstairs is open. And I was surprised that he wasn't going there. But, you know, any of this nonsense, script, bullshit. Like, if you subscribe to that notion, you're an absolute idiot. You're an absolute idiot. There was no reason for, you know, first of all, you go to jail. Why would Netflix, the biggest streaming platform in the world, partake in anything like that? Just use your brain. And MVP, too much to lose. You go to jail. Federal effing prison. AJ, like, for what? For what? He doesn't need it. He doesn't need more money. It's great, but to risk this? No. Look at what's going on with the gambling. No way. There's no way. My respect for Jake has grown. I know people don't like to give him credit. A, you fight amateur, influencer, pro boxing. You have my respect. I don't care what kind of fighter you are. I don't care how many wins you have. You step through those ropes, you have my respect. He lasted 6 rounds. Most didn't think he would. I think the line as far as how many rounds was 2.5. So clearly most people thought he would be out of there around that point. And I think a lot of people were going with the under. He had some moments. He had the antics. You know, obviously the takedowns and all that weren't great. But golly, I think he was tired. You know, the ring was bigger, and everyone said that was going to benefit him, the 22x22 ring. But, you know, cardio has been an issue for him. And so when you're circling and dancing, you're going to get tired. You're going to gas out. And I think that happened. Arms were down, and he was getting pinned. He was getting cornered, and he was getting, you know, AJ was doing a great job, I think, of not letting the fight be contested in the middle of the ring, cornering him either in the middle, like the turnbuckle, or up against the ropes. He was cutting him off perfectly. And so I know people are going to be upset that AJ...
Dan Rafael offers added perspective, zeroing in on the dynamics of the Joshua fight. He gives Jake Paul credit for surviving as long as he did, explaining that Paul's defensive, cautious approach, while disliked by many viewers, was the only method allowing him to last several rounds against someone of Joshua's level. From Rafael's viewpoint, the bout underscores the difficulty of closing the gap between spectacle-driven fights and true professional competition. This pattern of engineered results stretches beyond Joshua and Chavez Jr. in earlier matches. Critics have claimed Paul's opponents were deliberately selected to boost audience interest while keeping real danger to a minimum.
Like you said, you know, did it go 6 rounds and last, you know, a few longer? I'll give credit to Jake for hanging in there. Part of it was because he employed an extremely unfriendly for fans style, but it was the only way he could do it if he wanted to survive that many rounds, which is to basically get on his bicycle and ride around the ring for a bunch of rounds and then get off his bicycle and run, you know, like a criminal at night after the cops show up. So it is what it is. I mean, it'll be the fact that it still resonated shows you the interest that there was in the fight, and certainly that knockout was a viral clip. And you know, I'll quote the great philosopher Eddie Hearn. You know, we're going to take care of Jake Paul and on to the real boxing in 2026.
Yeah, the great philosopher.
Eddie will like that.
Yeah, he will. I might take that out because he'll like it too much. Look, in terms of AJ now, look, I think he's always in a no-win situation. I think unless he flattened him within 10 seconds, someone would have something to say. Whether it be before the fight and why is he doing this? Look, we know why he's doing it. Like, and it helps him, I suppose, in the US market as well in terms of coming over here and making a big splash. But do you understand where some people maybe have been a bit critical with how long it's taken, or is it the fact that you fight a guy who's that, like you mentioned there, he's a novice boxer and he's moving around the ring? Was it down to Anthony to cut him off sooner, or do you see why it went that long?
I mean, look, Anthony certainly could have done a better job cutting the ring off, and Anthony Joshua was the first one to say so himself after the ring. I mean, I've always viewed Joshua as pretty honest when it comes to assessing his...
Wade, a podcast host, blasted the choice to place a 58-year-old inside the ring for one of Paul's bouts, arguing such setup should never happen under ordinary circumstances. He claimed the fight's result and framework felt prearranged, pushed mostly by money motives instead of sporting fairness. The belief that these bouts are rigged grows stronger when trends of opponent picking, media hype, and tightly controlled fight pacing are considered. Despite the backlash, Paul keeps insisting he's a legitimate fighter, facing big-name opponents and sustaining an aggressive media spotlight. The storm around his fights, however, refuses to fade. Observers point out that while Paul shows ability and stamina, the managed nature of his bouts, aging opponents, defensive tactics, and loud promotion fuel the idea that many contests feel more spectacle than sport. As a result, analysts and fans still argue over whether his career shows real competition or a chain of orchestrated moments built to preserve fame and profits for everyone watching closely across boxing media circles.
Of course, at 58, I think a lot of people in that ring could have hurt Mike because, again, Mike did not look like he should be in a ring. But we just saw this whole experiment. We don't need a Logan and Mike Tyson fight after this. For Logan to clearly not get the joke and disrespect Mike to his face after he had just fought Jake in this amazing event, and all you can really do is give him his flowers because that's what you should do right then. Logan has to take it another level and continue to be the asshole. So again, the self-awareness on Logan Paul, whether it's Lunchly or Prime or anything to do with crypto, the guy just doesn't give a fuck about anybody but himself. But then, you know, like I said, Jake didn't really call anybody out in the post-fight presser, in his post-fight interview with Ariel, but the internet went ablaze over, you know, him fighting Mike and how are you continuing to fight these older guys and Mike being 58.
That's it for today's video. Stay locked. Until next.